Alright, so in this one we are going to be doing my top 10 list for the final part of the Dragon Ball Legends 5th anniversary. By the way, no headphones. I know they sometimes get funky and they like literally mess up mid-video and people are like, huh, my left side of my ear is feeling great this video, because I don't know, it gets weird, but no headphones, so it should be better audio, maybe even worse because it is no headphones, but nonetheless. This will be my top 10, technically top 15. We'll go over the 11 through 15 at the end. There's 15 characters in front of you here. As you can see, some things probably will be changing from the last part of the tier list. Not even from the Sword of Hope one, because Sword of Hope one I actually changed my opinion quite a bit from prior to with the Gamers and Piccolo dropping. And now, my opinion with Ultra Vegito Blue being out is it's a sequence of, wow, we have really come away where nothing matters from part 2, and part 1 still matters. Part 1 definitely still matters, but nonetheless, to begin and get into the premise of it is that this is my opinion. If you disagree, cool, awesome. If you would like to, I guess, argue your side, I can't read every comment, but I'll try to read every comment, and, you know, if there's something worth noting and going over, feel free to. Again, just my opinion of my usage of my playtime and all this. This is very early, by the way, so if I do end up changing it maybe in like a week or two, just like on Twitter or something, because this is where I posted initially, just on Twitter, and it seemed to have good, you know, perception of reaction, right? Then that'll happen over there, but here nothing big is going to change, I assume, at this rate. I've had a lot of usage with UVB and usage against other characters that are not, you know, UVB, but mostly against UVB, right? So, to begin, number 10, I do think it is still Beast Gohan. I think he still rounds out the top 10. This unit obviously increased the power creep in this game. He literally created a new power creep in the entire game, and his value is still existent. I don't know if you could argue it's higher because, well, the situation now is that UGB is much more common and better off to run because these yellows are very much shot down because of Red Vegito Blue. So, in a theory, Beast Gohan gains value because UGB is going to be so much easier to run because there's no yellows. So, technically, Beast does gain value. The thing is, you're just not running UGB with Beast. You're not running moves. You're running fusions with Leader Slot Pan, or fusions with Leader Slot Goku Frieza, or Rosé with UGB Leader Slot with UVB on Future. Like, you're running these settings, right? So while Beast didn't necessarily gain value or lose value, his individual basis is just too strong to get him out of top 10. I think what he does as a, you know, all this cover and all he gets, the type neutral he gets so consistently, the output he could do, while he is running with Pan very consistently, and Pan is on the list, so she is 11 through 15 here, minimum. It's too much. When Pan does end up, like, inevitably just kind of dying down, kind of like we just had all the yellows, you know, shockingly, these yellows will fall down the list because his strong red came out. If that same thing happens to a blue unit, like, let's say, August or September, I don't know, whatever Ultra comes out next is going to be a blue unit, and then Pan somehow just loses all her value, even though she typed neutrals, then there you go. Beast would probably fall down because of that, right? But for right now, Pan still has value. That means Beast still has value. So I think Beast has his individual basis. Kit is carrying the hell out of him. Some units that are going to be higher than him are carried by their teams more than the Kit. But that's just how the game works. It's a 3v3 game. While Beast is not a full-on amazing, you know, team-based unit right now in any setting, because where would you run him? That's really ideal. There's nothing crazy. Movies are still okay. It's just not as good as other teams. That's exactly the problem, not really a problem, the situation he falls into, where there's just teams that are better than his. Not that his team has fallen off, but movies, again, just has, you know, other teams that are better than it. And then Beast is really just run on movies. Hybrids isn't really ideal for him. I mean, you could run Sword of Hope, Beast, and, like, I don't know, Pan, but, you know, there's just better, once again, right? He just has better teams that aren't, you know, using him right now. But number 10, it's still a good placement. Look how old he is. This guy's going to approach a year, and he's probably going to be, like, maybe 11 through 15 area, unless he gets, like, crazy buff, which Ultra FSK could easily happen, and he could be probably top 5. So we'll probably see that happen this year, but nonetheless, Beast number 10, I think that's actually a very good positioning for him, as he is as old as he is, and units, no one here is older than Beast that's on this list. I'll say that much. But continuing on, we do have number 9. I actually put it as the Gammas. The Gammas have fallen cataclysmically. I think I had the number 4 last time, and this is obviously pre Ultra Vegito Blue, and I figured, I said it, I was like, this list is going to change entirely with Ultra Vegito Blue, right? Or whatever the next Ultra is, and we got Ultra Vegito Blue, And I was not wrong. The Gammas, as they are a yellow, have fallen. I do think they are getting backpacked by LF17. Same thing with another unit that will make it on this top 10 list as a yellow. They're getting backpacked by LF17. It is a very, very, very tough site to try to use the Gammas right now because, I mean, I use them on like the Annie headliner team as like just a, you know, a silly little video team, but just the premise of it on, you know, a very good individual basis unit team of Goku Frieza, UVB, Gammas. They're all individually good, but you could notice the Gammas couldn't do anything for like 99% of the video. It's just like, oh, it's everybody else doing everything else, which makes sense. Those units are better individually, Gammas being worse than Goku Frieza and UVB as just solo units, but they're not bad. It's just they're yellow. They can tag out, get neutral 3-timer counts every single tag out, but that's simply not enough. UVB is infinite comboing, and maybe even a one combo into rush situation there. Like, the Gammas will never be able to get their core breaker in a consistent setting. Even if you have LF17 to take the big moves and like to debuff the big moves and all that stuff, it's just, that's not the Gammas at that point. That's LF17 carrying the Gammas to like limp over the little like, you know, stumps that they had to hit. So it's sad because this is my favorite LF in the game. I literally made that video and it's like, oh, well, you know, an hour-long video of them doing amazing and it's great, but that cannot happen right now. When VB does inevitably get countered or fallen off or something, or, you know, Androids gets, I don't know what they could get. Androids really isn't that hype. You know, Cell Max could happen, but it probably won't. Maybe Ultra Cell, who knows? Unless Androids gets a big buff like that, and I doubt Ultra Cell would even be, you know, a blast-based unit because the Gammas are blast-based. Until that happens, the Gammas have just fallen down. They will continuously fall down. There's nothing that can, like, save them. Their best unit to help them is LF17, and he's out. He's here. He's prominent. He's, you know, probably the best thing to help stop UVB in a setting of, you know, sustainability, not output, because sort of hope Beast can do definitely, you know, better output to just nuke him because, you know, you do that ultimate, one-shot him, boom. Fuck the neutral. Can't do it. But LF17 is not going to do enough crazy damage to just one-shot a UVB from full. So that's kind of the negative to LF17, but we'll get into that later. Gammas rather, have fallen down a large margin from number 4 for me. And I think a lot of people had them like 4, 5, 6 area. Some people had them off top 10. I personally think they can still do something, but it's not great. Once again, UGB is returning to the meta, and they are yellow, so there is some value rise. But yeah, if you're a yellow, you are on pack watch right now. And to say, number 8's also a yellow. I think you can guess who it is. It's not Jeer. It is not Jeer. Number 8 is going to be Mr. Kid Buu. Now, I will say, number 7, which we'll get to, obviously, after I explain Kid Buu. Number 7, number 8, if you were to swap them, I wouldn't argue with you. I would just be a little bit, I don't see it. But if you want to swap them, go for it. Just when number 7 comes up, but number 7 will be somebody that I kind of predicted would have a lot of value, and, you know, shockingly, I was correct. Kid Buu, though, number 8, I think he's actually above the Gammas because of what he can do for the annoyance setting. I think just how good his individual kit is to be a fucking pest is more impactful. You know, the Gammas have to keep going and going. They are a very, if you are, you know, winning, you are really winning. Like, you could just end a match within, like, 30, 40 counts with the Gammas, right? At least pre-UVB. Kid Buu, he's more just like, I'm a pesky little motherfucker. I'm going to AoE green you. I'm going to lock in blue you. I'm going to do my ultimate. I'm going to, you know, blast armor, do this and that, and all this annoying bullshit that I can't do. He's just more pesky. And yes, he is in the same setting of the Gammas where you have to run with LF17. There's no sequence you can't. So you're not running blue Zamasu. You're not running orange to save you. You know, orange isn't even in the top 15 here, right? He's not good enough. So you are running with LF17 as like a, I don't know, maybe LF17 leadered with like Kid Buu, and then, or Kid Buu leadered on like uni reps with LF17 and Goku Frieza. I don't know. Exactly. There's not really a great home, but as annoying as he is individually, I feel like you have to understand that there's value for him still. It's not high. It's not. You really can't do too crazy things of him and with him, but I think how annoying he is outweighs how, you know, good the Gammas could be in a setting. It's just the annoyance is like greater than the situation that the Gammas could maybe do well this one match out of like 8. Kid Buu will be annoying like 1 out of 5 matches instead, right? I feel like that is just more consistent. The annoyances Kid Buu can do, he still can do well. Again, he will do his job of being annoying and being good in some settings. It's just a lot worse off. And Kid Buu, for me, and for a lot of people, was arguable 1, minimum 3 for a lot of people, almost everybody. And I had this guy again, arguable number 1, and he has fallen down to 8th. Some people don't even have him top 10. So, you know, yellows, like I just mentioned a minute ago, they are on a time clock here, a ticking time bomb, and that bomb went off. This is the result of that bomb. This is an atomic bomb on Kid Buu and Gammas, and, you know, Jiren, because Jiren, he's here, but, you know, he's not going to be higher than Kid Buu and Gammas, right? So he's, you know, 11 to 15. Yellow's got nuked. Again, that's just how the situation is right now. You can't really cope it. There's nothing you can say about it. That's like, no, you could deal with this still. You're still perfectly fine. No, there's literally, what could you do if you're yellow right now? Nothing. You don't neutral. You're not beast. You're not neutral in 24/7, defensively, offensively. Yellows don't do that. There's no yellow that does that right now. It's just tough for them. Number 7, let me take a sip of a little coffee here real quickly. Number 7, though, is actually an LF above an Ultra. You know, back then, we used to have it where it was like every Ultra was 1 through 4. You know, UGB, Rosé, Kid Buu, and who was the other one? Who was the other one? UGB, Rosé, Kid Buu, Hit. There you go. I forgot about Hit. That's funny. But now it's an LF that's above an Ultra here, with it being Mr. Sword of Hope Trunks. Obviously, his value has increased. People have argued that he is the best counter to UVB. I don't agree with that. I understand the premise of like, okay, you could kind of get that gauge very early, because UVB players, they're just going, they're comboing infinitely. The reason for this is smart, right? He's meant to be early game, and they'll probably get a rush within that combo, if not very close to a rush within that one long combo he does with the infinite cover null that UVB essentially has. It's one card he doesn't have cover null out of like 10 to 11 in a combo. Like, it's ridiculous, this cover null, right? So you'll get Trunks' gauge, and obviously you could get that ultimate, you can get a lot of damage, yada, yada, yada. But I don't think he's a perfect counter, because, again, you can't just get a sequence where UVB rushes this guy. Now, there is some interesting spot for this Trunks. Once again, I do think 7 and 8 can swap. I wouldn't swap them, but if you do, okay, cool. It's weird for this Trunks, though. I understand his value. I like his value. I agree with his value. I don't really change my opinion on that. But I will say this. UVB and UGB, you're not running to UGB that often, but, you know, UGB is more common, a lot more common than it used to be. Both can rush. UVB goes neutral on rush as well. Both can rush Sword of Hope. Now, the only way to not get your Sword of Hope killed early game, because they could just rush him out, and you're going to have probably, let's say your team is Rosé, UVB, Sword of Hope, right? Pretty typical future. And you're not running Goku Frieza. Well, you were going to sack off Sword of Hope or Rosé in that set. You're not sacking off UVB. He's just the best unit on your team. There's no point to. So you're either forced to sack off a very good Ultra or a very good LF. What you're meant to do right now is, instead of run Rosé, you're meant to run Goku Frieza, Sword of Hope, and UVB. Again, UVB being just as good as he is, you're going to run him nonetheless. And then Goku Frieza. I don't know if this is a dilemma for him or just like a situation he's just forced into right now, because Goku Frieza, what they do is cancel the buff effect of cannot be canceled endurance null. Well, they don't have cannot be canceled endurance null. They cancel the buff effect that UGB and UVB get, where they nullify endurance on rush. If you were to rush with UVB, UGB, in a setting you caught the Trunks, you played well, you got a PV on, then you did an insta-rush, it doesn't matter, because you have Goku Frieza. They cancel buff effect. Whether it's them or not, whether they're alive or not, they cancel buff effect of that nullifying endurance. So while he does have a value increase, it is very much more restrictive than it actually seems to be. You're really, really in a setting where you want to run Goku Frieza with this guy, and if you don't, I've had it every single time I run into this guy in just plain old future, he gets rushed first. I'm going against him, I have my UVB, I'm just doing combos, okay, well, I have no reason not to rush here. UVB, Rosé, or Sword of Hope, everyone's a free kill and a good kill to get, so let's just throw it out there. But when you have Goku Frieza on the team, you know, probably the best unit in the game, if not arguable with UVB here, shockingly, I know spoilers, you're more free. So with Trunks in that setting, I understand this number 7. If you were to have Trunks without Goku Frieza, I could see him being 8, because while his value's still there, he just has to lose some because he can get rushed a lot easier, and that is a lot of value being thrown off the table when he gets rushed very easily. So he's in a good spot. Obviously, again, being number 7 as an LF Zenkai is not something expected from one, especially because Furuku was like that pinnacle guy, right? When he first Zenkai, it was like, oh my god, perfect synergy, everything. Not saying Sword of Hope Trunks doesn't have good synergy, but like the Force to Furuku was literally like, you are designed for these two together. And I guess Goku Frieza is met with that for Sword of Hope right now in this meta. because UVB's rush thing, UGB's rush thing, and whoever else, just those two are the most prominent ones that are going to be, you know, the rush guys that can just kill Sword of Hope. So if he's run with Goku-Frieza, this is a spot. If he's not, he goes down one, and Kid Buu would go up one. But again, that's just kind of like, you know, that's just run Goku-Frieza. You probably had them anyways. Number 6. Number 6 is going to be one that is tough, because it's not like they actually lost value. They probably just went neutral in this whole buff of UVB coming out and all that stuff. Is going to be Ultra Hit. There's just no reason to run them. That honestly, that's just the simplest explanation I could give you. Why would you need to run Ultra Hit? Why would I need to run double reds? Let's say I'm going to run a Hit, UVB, and Goku-Frieza. But why? Why would I do that? There's Beast, there's Sword of Hope, there's fucking whoever the fuck else that's going to be blue, Frieza. There's just no need to run Hit right now. So it's just like, with that being the case, his value goes down because the units that are going to be running more often are just better. You know, there's just a better Red Ultra. There's just a more cohesive synergy of blue units to be running around right now. So there's not a case to really ever bring him. I mean, that's just it. He builds up. You have a red unit that's literally auto-starting better off in the beginning of the game than not. So they're the literal complete opposites in their, you know, dilemmas. UVB can end a match within 20 counts. Hit can't do that. Well, I love the guy. He can't fucking do that. He's just not the guy for that. He's not meant to do that. So Hit's more slow than not, and more so than that, again, you just don't need Hit. Like, where do you need Hit over UVB? You don't, right? So why would he ever be thrown on a team? Do you need double reds? No. So the value doesn't, I mean, go down as an individual unit, but like, I guess team-wise, you just don't need to run him anymore. He's just kind of sidelined over there, which it sucks for him. You know, this guy did have good value for a good minute, so it's tough, but yeah, I don't ever see a reason that you'd run a Hit. There's just never a spot where it's like, yup, I need Ultra Hit right now. It's just not going to exist. That's it. There's not many yellows. Yellows got nuked already, so why would I need Hit anyways? Does more to blues? Okay, well, just run Ultra Rosé. He goes to UVB anyways. It's color synergy. There's never a spot that you need to run Hit over X or Y Ultra that's going to be above him here. Or LF. So, Hit, my boy. It's tough. It's tough. Shy Guy agrees. That was going to fall. Number 5, though, funny enough, is an LF. Another LF surpassing an Ultra. It's not a Zenkai, so no, it's not Omen. You know, purple Omen. But number 5 being Mr. LF Android 17. His value clearly has increased, being a very good unit to try to stop UVB again. I think out of the output units, Beast is probably, it's arguable Beast of Sword of Hope is better in the output setting to stop UVB right now, right? But I do think LF17 as the blue unit here is going to be a worse off spot. Again, he's not meant for damage. He's not meant to just do insane, like, okay, I'm going to one card you, beat the fuck out of you. He's not going to do that. That's not his job. I don't expect him to do that, and that's fine. But his value, regardless, has gone up, being, you know, very good against UVB. The gauge he can get, the canceling attribute upgrades to buff effects when there's a blue card or ultimate or some big move done against him 3 times. So he'll make his, you know, enemy hit very meekly in those settings, and it gives you a lot more stalling time. You know, the rush situation, you can't really get rush if he's already in, kind of like with UGB and LF17 back then. You wouldn't be able to rush LF17 with UGB if he was already in. Rather the opposite, UGB wouldn't be able to rush LF17 when he's already in. So that kind of just resurgence occurred. You could just run this guy on uni reps right now with UVB leader, Goku-Frieza, and then LF17. That's a perfect synergy. You don't need to do anything else. You're just kind of free as fuck right there. Obviously, you do have like a green unit like Ultra Rosé that could come out and be a problem, but then you have the Goku side, and then you have UVB who doesn't care about anything that's not blue, so you don't really have a struggle where this guy's like unsafe fully because everyone else on his teams is going to be a purple or red that's just completely free and just whitewashing everything because they do not care if you are blue, and then Goku-Frieza don't even care if you're type neutral or type advanced to them because they tag out. And if you tag out or swap out, then you swap out again. You'll always maintain a neutral setting and never have your unit just being worse off again, because you're not going to face a overly tanky unit. Like, Sword of Hope is not overly tanky, so it's like, okay, this is kind of bad. I can't deal with this. No, Goku-Frieza are right there. They're on your team. They're double Zenkai buffed right there. They're completely free. So LF17, his value has obviously gone up with the UVB release, being a very good stopper to him, and not necessarily individually, but as a whole basis of what he does as a kit. As Goresh has stated in the past, LF17 is going to be usually the second best unit on your team, but now he is going to be the third best unit on your team if he's going to be run with Goku Frieza, UVB. Obviously, you can't do that because you just leave us like UVB, boom, ultra ability, then bench all uni reps, put, you know, whatever the hell is UI sign, I guess, Zenkai buff right there for your Goku Frieza, and then boom, you're free at last to go and dominate PvP. LS17, though, very nice value. He's kind of retained this value the whole anniversary as a, he was actually at number 5 last list I did because he was with the Gamma's pairing, and now he's pairing with uni reps a lot more. So yeah, the value of him is just skyrocketing. It's kind of ridiculous because all anniversary he's been in this like 4, 5, 6 area, and he's gonna retain that until the end of it. So W to LS17, I am surprised by that. I did not expect him to just have perfect partners just drop and drop and drop left and right, and very good metas to just exist for him, but he's getting them, and you know what, you gotta pay respect to that. Very nice for LS17 there. Number 4, we are up here. Number 4 is going to be Mr. Ultra Rosé. Now, Ultra Rosé was on a little bit of a fraud watch recently, with him, you know, obviously being off boost, and people were noticing, hey, his damage really isn't being that crazy right now. But I think with the release of UVB, also what UVB does do is give strike damage received, or actually overall damage received debuff, right? I think his strike gives sustained damage received debuff, which with Rosé, who also gives 30% debuff on his own existence of just being in the match, you have a lot of debuffs just going on, which is kind of crazy. UVB hits very hard with Rosé paired with him just because of those debuffs that are going to go crazy. And, you know, the infinite combo UVB can do. Rosé obviously has to go up in value. You're going to try to, you know, use blues, use beast, use LS17, use Sword of Hope, use Goku Frieza. Frieza's side is obviously a lot better than the Goku side. So Rosé has to go up in value because you're protecting your UVB with Rosé. I don't think he's anything outlandishly amazing right now, because there's a setting you could also say he lost value, but the value of him being protecting UVB to me is outweighing the value that he's lost. Now, to go over the value he's lost, because he has lost value, is you can't destroy Dragon Balls. UVB is immune to that for, I think, 60 counts. You can't destroy any Dragon Balls. So Rosé, after taking combo, he destroys Dragon Ball, I think, 3 times total. He can't do that anymore. UVB's every match. What are you going to do? Sucks, right? And, you know, obviously you're going to swap into Rosé, and it's going to end the combo, then you're not going to do that. So that's a value decrease there. And then even more so than that, the Paralyze. UVB does cancel allies, abnormal conditions, and attribute downgrades 3 times, I do believe it is. So let's say your ally got paralyzed, and then UVB enters the field, that shit's gone. Completely gone. So the Paralyze and Dragon Ball Destruction, 2 of his 3 most crucial things that's very good about him, have gone to the wayside. But again, him being such a protector is like, this is the, you know, negatives he got, but this is the positive being protector. It's too much there. It just sucks that Rosé has taken a hit in value in that sequence, but it's not to say he's doing bad because of it. It's just his full potential is not able to be unleashed right now in his annoyance of stopping Rush, or of, you know, doing gimmick stuff with Paralyze, because, you know, damn well everyone will just throw the blue card, and then you can do that now, but it's like you're trying to get the Paralyze proc. You're gonna go full screen strike. If you see that Paralyze little, you know, squiggly lines on the fucking bar of their HP, you're gonna go, oh my god, full screen strike, and it'll sometimes work. Now you can't do that because bro's canceling the allies. Negative effect there. So Rosé, while he has a value increase, definitely has seen some hit taken to him, but nothing bad that it's like, oh my god, he can't be top 5. No, this guy is going to be up here again, being a perfect partner. Red-green synergy. It's going to give you the potential you need to be up here as well. Rosé being a very good unit, and I'm not surprised by this. Was a little bit lower, made sense to be, because Goku Frieza being as good as they are, and they're still as good as they are, but Rosé has to protect, and he does protect well against these blues, number 7, number 10, and above, because, you know, Goku Frieza is going to be above here. Nonetheless, though, continuing, we do have number 3. I do think number 3 is a little old rat returning to the times. Now, I actually do think he's lost some value in some sequence as well, which is funny because UVB has done a lot of things where it's given UGB a lot of value, but hurt UGB's value. Given Rosé a lot of value, but hurt Rosé's value. I just went over Rosé's value getting hurt. UGB's value, it's actually just to touch on a little negative of UGB right now. So what he does when he gets Gauge is destroys enemy strikes, right? Gauge is full, strikes are done, now you have to do a blast or swap out and kind of get a new hand and, you know, try to redo stuff or pop main or whatever. You're just forced to do a different type of play. Well, UVB does not allow his cards to be destroyed. I believe that's also for like 60 or maybe 30 counts there, but it's a long time. You cannot destroy his cards. There's no card destruction allowed to happen to UVB. He's immune to it. So from there, UGB does take a hit. He's not going to get his gauge proccing as prominently as it used to and often as it used to, but everything else is a positive. Obviously, red, purple, perfect fucking color synergy. Then you run Goku Frieza, UGB, UVB, oh my god, blue, red, purple, wow, color synergy there, right? On top of the fact that UVB being a red does make the yellows fall down, as I have mentioned, that's obviously going to up the value of a purple unit, right? You can't see the main purple unit here being Mr. UGB. His value has just gone cataclysmically up. It is wild that this unit can still be a contestable, you know, top 5 unit in any regard. I mean, not even contestable, literally outright top 5 unit, top 3 unit in a regard. It's crazy that this guy has that capability still to this day. UGB is not new. He is very old in comparison to everyone else here besides Beast Gone, because Beast was before, you know, big Legends Fest moment there. He was literally the last celebration prior to it. But for as old as he is, to be top 3 as an Ultra, it's just kind of crazy that this guy can manage this setting. His output's very good. UVB pairs well with him, with the setting of UVB is meant to be a lot more early game than late game. UGB is a lot better late game than early game, so you just kind of let that synergy go crazy as well. He's simply him. UGB, his value is just, it's through the roof. It's not really much I have to explain. You see these yellows down here? You see the reds? They're going to be up top. I mean, even hits right there as well. It's just going to make sense that UGB's value has skyrocketed beyond belief. And, you know, it's the yearly fusion buff, right? It's what happens. Yes, every 6 months fusion buff, because, you know, Legends Fest got us one as well. But nonetheless, he is number 3 in the game. And number 2, there is none. I do not think there is a number 2 unit. Well, there is. But I do think number 1 is tied between 2 units. I do not think it is if or but to the other or one another. I think it is completely tied. So let me just delete this. Oh, where the hell did I just go? What the hell did I just do? Wait, what the hell? Wait, what the hell? Okay, let's delete this as I wanted to. And then we will put the number 1 and number 2 unit together. Now, I will personally say, you have an easier time arguing Goku Frieza over UVB. But if you want to say UVB over Goku Frieza, it's the same exact thing. They're equals. They are equals to one another. I do not think there is one standing out above the other. The reason you would say Goku Frieza is easier to argue is because there's 2 negatives. UVB does have negatives. Goku Frieza has flawlessness. UVB has some negatives, but those negatives aren't prominent right now. They're just existent, but it's still number 1, even with those negatives. That's how fucking good he is. The one negative being his neutral. He does not have very good neutral. The way to get his neutral is 2 ways. Offensive neutral is being land a green card, right? Or rather, actually, it's just use a green card, but ideally you want to land the green card. Green carding is to get his offensive neutral 10 timer counts, and then Rising Rush. He gets a 10 timer counts after using Rising Rush. So his neutral setting isn't great, and then his later game it's good, obviously, it's amazing, but it's not as good as his early game. His early game is truly his prominence. Again, I've had this unit solo and do fucking 20 count matches. I've had a match where I got a rush within like single digit fucking settings. Now, I didn't get to use the rush in that setting, but I had a match where I got a rush within single digit settings because this unit is so good and the dominance of him. UVB is incredible. I don't know how they made this so well, but they really did. They made a unit that could match Goku Frieza, who are genuine flawlessness right now. You know, Zenkai evolves just unit individually. You could argue it's such a stupid minute argument because there's not even yellows right now running around. They're all fucking hiding in the fucking shadows. Could argue though, Goku is a ramp up, and that does give him a, you know, slower early game. Bro, that's 4 fucking cards. It's not that deep. But you could argue that as like a negative to Goku Frieza, but that's so stupid. That's such a like a nitpick. That's like, they still hurt you. You're fucking Zenkai up by like 3x every single match. So they are both number 1. They run together. Obviously, you could just run the top 3 here, and they would both do fantastic things. All 3 units here would do everything they can do and just dominate every single match. I don't think you have to run the top 3 together, to be fair, but you could easily do it. Again, color synergy does exist with blue, red, purple there, because you're going to be in with Frieza a lot more than Goku, and if you need to be in with Goku, well, you're free to, because there's no fucking yellows, right? Obviously, UGB protecting the Frieza side there as well, so you're just, again, home fucking free. But again, if you want to swap the placements and you want to say 1-2 for UGB, rather UVB and Frieza, go for it. I do think, though, they are equivalent in value. Maybe VB is up here only because of boost, because the damage C debuff plus boost is something akin to USV. If you don't remember, USV was very good in his heyday, and first dropping, not fully because his team, because the LF androids did exist, and it was like, USV, USG versus the LF androids. Okay, it's kind of a coin flip who's going to win this, who manages his timer counts better. But USV would out damage combo comp because he debuffed so much, and he got card draw speed, he kept stacking, and UVB is the literal same setting. He is stacking, he's debuffing, he's covering all, he's card draw speeding, because he has double card draw speed, and he just keep going forever and ever and ever. The same premise as USV. So maybe he's up here because of boost. Frieza clearly are not as reliant on boost because they have all the Zenkai buffers, so they're getting all this crazy damage already. But nonetheless, for now at least, it's going to be UVB and Frieza tied for number 1 for me here. I just don't see enough issues in UVB to lower him to a number 2. I do think he's just way too good early game. This unit can beat everything in the entire game. While he does struggle more against blues because he is red, he doesn't go neutral often, like I mentioned. That's such a setting that doesn't matter too much because the blues aren't tanky enough to like warrant just the D value. While LF17 is good, Sword of Hope is good, they're not good enough. The gap from 1 to 3, because they're 1-2 together, is so wide in like a overall I can do everything setting. It's just kind of ridiculous. Though UGB can get there later game because he can neutral with his green and all that bullshit. But the gap, like just an overall match setting, especially early game, the top 2 they just take it home. Again, if you want to swap them, go for it, but I do think they are equivalent in number 1 setting. And just to go over the 11 through 15 here, since we are here, I do think you could actually argue this purple UI is 10. If you want to swap Beast and purple UI, I wouldn't even debate you on that. I would say actually you're pretty valid in that. Maybe even number 9, 8 if you want to, truly, because he did get a buff. He does do more damage to fusions, take less damage from fusions actually, so he actually got a buff here. Again, yellows are falling down, but I'll have him number 11 here personally, just because I do not think you need to run him right now. So if he's not going to need to be run, why would his situation be number 10? Kind of like Beast, you don't need to run him, but you can. It's the same thing, but individually, who's better, Beast or UI Omen? Beast, right? Number 12, I do have the green at Rev UI. Obviously, his value's not fantastic, but he is one of the only units in the game that is modernized that can rush Frieza, and I just think with the team of uni reps, it's still a very good setting, so he's got to be somewhere up here, right? Number 11 and 12. Number 13, I do have the 4s. While they aren't great in a particular matchup, I do think Sun Family is a very good team, and they still can do very good work on that setting. And then continuing on, I do have Pan next up here. I have 6 units. I'm fucking stupid. Okay. Oh, let me take you out then. Yeah, I had 6 units. Pan is number 14. Pan being a very good support. Obviously, you're going to lead a slaughter on a lot of teams. You're going to lead a slaughter on UVB, Frieza, Pan. You could probably do that. Or UGB, UVB, Pan. You could do those settings. Pan just being a leader slot merchant and just, supporting like crazy. Her job is there. She still does her job. You got to respect that. Then Jiren. Yes, I do think Jiren's below Pan because Jiren has 2 good settings. One cover change. He can cancel buff effect. He canceled the extra card draw speed because of UVB's card draw speed. 1 is uncancelable. Then 1 is for 30 timer counts that can be canceled. If Jiren covers in, he can't cancel that, and that can be annoying, but that's genuinely it. He's just on a good team, and he has some annoying effect that he can do. Overall, though, he is fallen down a cliff, and I think that's logical because, again, he's yellow. He can't neutral in an offense sense, and even defensively. Does he even neutral? I don't even know if he does neutral defensively. If he does, it's not long. But I do think he's just fallen down a lot. If you were to have maybe Nerd Gohan or Magenta or, whoever else, these other, 1% from the banner Kaiwei on this instead of Jiren, I wouldn't even argue. I'd probably agree at that point, but Jiren was so high up, it's just kind of disrespectful, in my opinion, to not put him there. So I will keep him 15. If there is better, there probably is better, though. I think he can still do okay enough. It's just terrible comparatively to what it was. But that is my top 15, top 10 list in Dragon Ball Legends. Number 1 being Goku, Frieza, and UVB here. Both equivalent to one another, both being number 1. UVB number 3 here, Rosé being number 4. LS17 is number 5, Ultra Hits number 6, Sword of Hope number 7, Kid Buu number 8, Gamma's number 9, and then Beast number 10. UI Omen being number 11. Purple UI Omen. Rev UI being number 12, the 4s being number 13, Pan being number 14, and Jiren being number 15. Let me know what you guys think of my top 10/top 15 list of Dragon Ball Legends 5th anniversary, the last part. I'll see you guys in the next one.